Welcome race fans and welcome to the Imola paddock for the Emilia Romagna, the Made in Italy Formula One Grand Prix here at the International Racing League. This is season 3, round 6 at the many named Imola circuit, but ferociously tricky track here for the drivers to challenge them tonight, and with a wonderful sprint to start. We're going to sprint qualifying, one-shot qualifying for the for both events that we will hold tonight, and I hope you will tuck in and enjoy the sessions to come. Just to add to that little preview, I said Merckx the Merciless won from Moist the Maestro at the previous round, with Leon coming in third. And what does that mean for our championship? It means that Merckx is on 110 points to the now returning from vacation Ricky Maru on 62 points. It has opened up a huge gap for Merckx at the top of the standings. Milan is in third now on 59 points, just 3 away from Ricky Maru. On 58 points is AJ, or ARL as you'll see him here. Then comes Moist, the double champion, only on 56, but in 5th place. In 6th place is Speedy Spud on 38. Ole on 28 is in 7th. Then comes in 8th position Leon on 24 points. Alpha Alex is in 9th on 18. Floyd has 14 in 10th place. Then we have Sticky in 11th. Intronsic, Marco and Jay are all joint 12th position. We then have Davey and Waitsy in joint 15th position, with Chuck Norris, Lemmy and Techno Tim all having scored. We have a couple of newcomers to racing tonight. We have the returning Adam Foran as well. Here with us, which I'm really happy to see coming back. We also have Jaffa Jake, and credit to that name. That's awesome. Awesome name for Jaffa Jake. Studios comes back as well, which we're really happy to see. We also welcome 12 Urchin in the Scuderia Ferrari. So a large grid for you. Can't wait to get on track, and we're going to get there. ARL has already left a comment in the live chat. It's completely changed his racing setup, and then so has Floydie as well. Good to see you. Good to see everybody here. Tell me who you're here to cheer on, and let me know how everything is going there, wherever you are. But we're going to go straight into qualifying, and I will have to keep spamming the button to try and stay on the lead driver as we run through this historic and relatively short circuit with the most amazing property and farming land on the infield, which you would think would fetch a huge premium in prices for property. Constructor standings, I'll try and rattle through them briefly. VCarb 120, Kicksauber 110, Williams 72, Aston Martin 66, ahead of Haas 62, McLaren 41, Red Bull 19, Ferrari 18, Alpine 6, Mercedes yet to score, but GTK Studios' return will certainly be trying to change that. This is a completely cross-play across PC, PS and Xbox division here at the International Racing League, and we are into our 3rd season. It is race 6 of that 3rd season on the newly expanded calendar, out to 16 races. We're going to be trackside any second for you, and hopefully, usually what we see is that Moist is very quick in these conditions. Whether Merckx can pull the lap together this time in one-shot quali will remain to be seen, but he did come through and perform very well despite poor qualifying at the start of the season. But it tends to be Moist who is most on it right from the very start of qualifying. I've said that now, and that will probably mean that it won't happen. So I will try and keep an eye on everybody. We've got the ready up. We're ready to go for everybody. Hopefully everyone has remembered to put on their setups for sprint. They will differ from their setup for the race and the sprint setup. No mandatory pit stop, although, of course, a fixed mandatory pit stop for the feature race. You must change compounds, but it doesn't matter what tyre compounds you use of the allocation of soft, medium and hards. There is a guy in a brown jacket going mad on the over the top of the paddock there. Very unusual to see a fan so engaged when nothing is happening on track. Maybe there's a TV camera waving at him and he's seen himself on the big screen. Anyway, we shall try and give you tonight the best racing coverage we possibly can. If you see something I'm not commenting on, please shout up. We'll try and work together here today on the live chat to try and make this a fabulous race. Let's go qualifying then, one-shot qualifying for our fastest laps here. Let's go and look at the lap and the track map as well, and sort out your stuff. Right, okay. We have then, let's try and see Speedy Spud straight away on the faster laps. My apologies, I've got to try and continually flick through to try and get the fastest drivers here, as we're already all the way up into the Tosa corner. Looks like it is Ole, it's Moist, and it is Speedy Spud at the head of the field. Moist, though, straight back up there as he goes at the highest point of the circuit, the Piratella, before then heading into Acqua Minerale. Formidable circuit, and we have turned off all... there will be no resolution on any track limit penalties. Apparently this track is incredibly strict. Across the Variante Alta goes Speedy Spud, and this is a tremendous qualifying lap from Speedy Spud, who continues to be in the lead of this session. GTK Studios has retired, unfortunately, right on the edge of the edge of track limits for Rivazza. Was Speedy Spud, lost absolutely loads of time going down into Rivazza. It looks like it's going to be Moist from Ole from Leon. So 3 different manufacturers in the top 3. It's going to be quite a competitive and enthralling race to come then. 4th place was Sticky. Looks like then the McLaren's doing pretty well out of that session, but Speedy Spud had it all the way to Rivazza as far as that graphic was showing. Strike Moist secures pole by just 1.5 tenths of a second from Ole. We've got Leon, we've got Sticky, Ole's teammate in 4th. Then comes the first of the Ferraris. It's Waitsy in 5th, who's a newcomer to the league. Floyd Pink in 6th, 12 Urchin in 7th. Then comes ARL, Ricky Maru. Then comes GTK Studios, Merckx, Adam 4 and Triple Bay, David Noah, Speedy Spud, Atsu, Milan, Marco and Jaffa Jake at the rear. Lots of disqualifications due to, of course, those track limit issues that I was describing. But we'll go straight into the sprint race, and then we'll have a short pause after the sprint race for snacks and drinks. But we will get trackside. We'll go straight into the action as well on the no formation lap settings that we use here at the International Racing League. So looking forward to this one. Let me have your predictions for the sprint. If you're watching with us live here today, tell me who you're supporting first of all, but second of all, tell me who you predict will be on the podium here in this sprint configuration. We just have a few laps, of course, in the sprint, just a sort of 25% distance for the drivers. No pit stops, as I mentioned. You run the tyres you start on. I imagine everyone will go on the softs. I don't think that the medium tyres will lend any real advantage over the distance here. But I'll say that, and then someone will surprise me. Here we go then. Time to go racing. It's Moist ahead of Ole. It's 5 lights on. It's drop the clutch and go, go, go. And Moist getting away with no tyre smoke whatsoever. Tremendous start from the double world champion with Ole and Leon in 2nd and 3rd positions as we run through the second of the McLaren, still in 4th position. Waitsy playing it pretty steady as there's several drivers just coming a little bit unstuck. There's a Kick Sauber mixing it in there with a V-carb down in the order. That's Ricky Maru returning back after vacation, hoping to get back on form and catch up with Merck, the Merciless, who is right with on track. Ricky Maru, though, up against the Ferrari ahead of 12 Urchin, and it's Ricky Maru into 6th position. Moist, Ole, Leon, Sticky, Waitsy and Ricky Maru there ahead of his main rival for this championship, who is a distant 50 plus points away at the moment. Ricky going through another driver's tyre smoke, but at the moment it is a nice start from the drivers. Looks like most everybody made it through. Ricky Maru diving into the Variante Alta alongside Waitsy and owning that portion of the racetrack. There was absolutely no prisoners taken there for Ricky. We've got a real mix-up going on with Moist in the lead here, just defending heavily from Ollie and Leon. Waitsy with a 3-second penalty straight away, with the first penalty on track before the first lap is even done. I certainly saw a Mercedes. That must have been, I think, GTK Studios over the apex of the Variante Alta as well, as we go through into the first corner. That is Traguardo, the first major corner anyway. And now through into Tamburello, out and towards the Villeneuve chicane. It is Ricky Maru up into 5th position. ARL's out of the race, and so it looks like a McLaren is certainly out of competition. It's Sticky running down the order. Marco has picked up a penalty. It is all kicking off here in our sprint race, which is great, but not so great if you're one of the drivers who have unfortunately missed out. Ricky Maru is certainly well on here and catching and passing Leon. Amazing pace of Ricky so far. Obviously the qualifying didn't work out, but he is really pushing hard, and I think he's even on the medium tyres here. So medium tyres for Ricky. Leon, it's just Merckx who's gone onto the soft, so Merckx will probably fade later on. But Ricky is desperate to try and get back on terms here with the lead pairing, just drifting his way through the Ravazza corner. And ARL there with the comment, what is this stupid game? Oh, you've got to let me know exactly what happens. ARL needing an invite. Can you remind me after the session, ARL, and I will do exactly that for you, no problem. But I can't do it mid-race. Triple Bay moves past Speedy Spud for 10th position, but it is hard fought at the head of the field. It's Ollie who's managed to make the pass on Stroke Moist. So Ollie moves ahead of Moist. It's now 0.3 of a second only between the top two as they run through Tosa at the extreme northwest of the circuit, and flashing yellow flags all the time on the way into the into and out of the pit lane, I think that is. Ollie's got the pace right now. Moist and Ricky Maru need to score big, while Merckx is not at the head of the field. But for now at least, Merckx is chasing down Ricky Maru and heading down into the Aqua Mineral. No, that's Variante Alta, excuse me. And then the long run down towards Ravazza corner. Moist definitely losing a little bit of time here, but staying within the DRS zone. Ricky has actually got on terms with that DRS zone now, and we can have a quick breather and have a look for the position change. It is 6 places up for Ricky, 7 up for Merckx, and 8 up for Davey Norris. Talk of Merckx and Ricky. Well, Merckx uses the DRS, uses a little bit of ERS, I imagine, as well, and gets through into provisional 3rd position. Side by side they go, but Ricky is going to hang on right around the outside, and they almost collide. But frankly, no shortage of bravery between the two, and Merckx the Merciless living up to his name and into 3rd position, taking no prisoners there. Ricky Maru, though, definitely is equal to the challenge, and now we have a 4-way battle at the head of the field. We've also got Waitsy right there, but he is plus 3 seconds just to complete what has happened. Marco up 5, but the big loser was Sticky having a problem, and also then Leon from fantastic qualifying from Leon, but out of the race. So is Jaffa Jake and ARL, but they will at least be able to revisit and come back for the feature race. Only points for the top 8 here, and not very many points at that either. Remember, Merckx the only driver on the soft tyres. Ricky will probably see that and think that he's going to be in a good position later on. Adam Foran drops down, let me just try and figure out. So AJ says the game kicked him out in quali, then he joined in the lap 1 sprint on board, but didn't give him control, and now he's out. Okay, well, fair enough. You've got a very legitimate complaint there. Moist retakes the lead on lap 5 of 11 in the sprint, and that was nicely done. But there's a plus 3 penalty for Moist straight off the bat. 12 Urchin also has a penalty, so Moist has got plenty of work to do. He's just got to keep it really tidy now and hope everybody else runs into a similar issue. But it is disadvantage to Moist here, our Maestro double world champion and the only champion of the International Racing League so far. But Merckx is definitely on the hunt for that particular title and is planning to take it away as soon as possible. Here they are then, Moist, Ollie, Merckx, with Ricky Maru just behind. Waitsy down in 5th place right now, but it is going to be about keeping a clean set of wheels against track limits. There's Marco picking up a penalty. I thought that was Merckx going over the chicane of Variante Alta, but no, it wasn't to be. Down into Ravazza. You don't see many moves into Ravazza because of the following DRS straight. So we wait then to see. Will Merckx have it? Will Ollie have it? I think Ollie will certainly be the first driver with DRS profit, as getting tucked up underneath the rear wing. We got Moist moving to the inside here, but we know you can go around, and unfortunately Moist, he held on to the car nicely, did Moist. I think he's picked up some damage though in so doing. Certainly something came off one of the cars. Was it Ricky Maru's end plate? It was. He's got such a hard job now, Ricky. He's got his main championship rival just ahead of him in 2nd place here, but he's missing a front wing end plate. That is really going to hurt Ricky, and there's probably very little he could do about it as Moist went sideways through the Tamburello corner, the switchback between Traguardo and Tamburello. It's certainly no favours done for him, but Merckx is only eyes forward right now. He is gunning for that lead and that sprint win, but he's a little bit slow, a little bit adventurous through the apex of the Variante Alta, and down the hill then towards Ravazza we go. On board, oh well, certainly trackside with Merckx, hunting down Ollie, your second of 2 leaders we've had so far in this race, but I think Merckx about to do something about that. Ricky Maru now +3 penalty as well, and gapping and distancing away from Merckx. Here we go, on board with Merckx. Did we launch a move? We try to put Ollie off into the braking zone, but Ollie, he reacted, but not too much. He knew that it was only a half a move coming, but it looked like a great exit from Merckx as they run down towards the Villeneuve chicane. Merckx is through without the use of DRS that time. It was all done by putting Ollie off the ideal racing line earlier on in the lap, and now they have a great run. Merckx is our 3rd leader on lap 7, and he is heading the championship, and certainly a driver that is proving to be absolutely formidable here in the championship. So Merckx the Merciless up 10 places from his start position. Is that hints of a little bit of rain on the racetrack? I'll just keep my eyes peeled. I'll probably be better off riding on board with another driver. I believe it is rain that the drivers are going to have to contend with in the final 5 laps of the race. 4.5 laps. I will get it right at some point, but there is a sprinkling of rain. Now that will favour Merckx here on the soft tyres. He should be able to retain temperature in those soft tyres much better than the drivers on the other cars. And here comes Ollie then past Merckx. Oh, it's all gone wrong. That is Merckx out of the sprint. I'm afraid the camera angle was just really poor, but it looked like Ollie defending from Merckx. They came together, tangled wheels, and Merckx off into the barrier, out of the sprint. Merckx, the championship leader, will 0 score from this race, whatever happens as a result of steward inquiries later or sort of investigations. But it looks like Ollie peeling across to one side. That promotes Ricky Maru, who is missing part of his front wing, and could go on to win the sprint here with 3 laps to go. Through Acqua Minerale he goes. He has a 2-second lead. That is enough to stop anybody else from using the DRS on the back of the car if he can just keep everything together. But they are +3, all of these drivers, with the exception of Ollie, who may well have a asterisk next to his name. In fact, Ricky Maru is +6, unfortunately. A little puff of smoke as he goes through the first Ravazza corner. The penalties really adding up now. Waitsy is +6, but almost 6 seconds clear of Triple Bay. That's his clear target there, as Moist has +3. Ollie could end up winning this race from 3rd position on the road. Waitsy is probably out of contention for the win or even the podium, but could hold on to this 4th position and some good points now. Triple Bay is off the circuit, I believe. No, Davies got through. in the Alpine. That's Davy Norris using the DRS down the start-finish straight, is up and ahead. And the gap opening now between Ricky and Moist. Now, why is Moist not able to keep up with Ricky with a broken front wing? I don't know if it's just this sprinkling of rain that's really affecting our drivers, and they are struggling around. We've lost Merck, Sticky, Leon, Jaffa Jake and ARL, but it is Ricky, Moist, Ollie, Waitsy, Davy Norris, Triple Bait. We've got Milan, Speedy Spud, Marco, Floyd Pink, 12 Urchin, Atsu for Kick Sauber is not going to be able to score points either for the Kick Sauber team. An absolute nightmare of a race here for Kick Sauber, but they'll be pleased at least it is only the sprint and there is still the main feature Grand Prix to come. It is Adam Foran in 13th, GTK Studios. I think Adam Foran has been away from the game for quite a while here, might be new to it, so probably explaining some of his lack of form today. GTK also has been away, but returning is in 14th position. So fighting on here, our drivers. But we've got Ole in third, Moist in second, and ahead of them, Ricky Maru by 2.9 seconds, which is getting on for enough. It's now 3 seconds clear, but Ole is still within sight here and still within the hunt for the win in the sprint. They all want to score big, while Merckx is going to no-score. As they pass, I think that's GTK Studios' car. Is that Ollie with a broken front wing as well? Look at the state of these front wings. There's just one element left on Ollie's front wing. Let's compare that to Ricky's, who's got all the elements but no end plate. That is incredible. Oh, that's another penalty then for Moist. Slam dunk for Ollie with just 1.5 laps to go, as Moist goes very wide out of Variante Alta, the final chicane on the track. Down into Ravazza we go. Ricky's about to start his final lap. Relentless Ricky Maru coming back after vacation. He has a big job ahead of him, but it's going to be made 8 points easier if he can settle down and sort out this one lap. AJ has calmed a little, which is good, but hopefully we'll get you back in the lobby. Let me know if you still need to get in, and I will do my best for you. But Ricky is well ahead here. He's 4.5 seconds ahead of Ollie, but he is +6. Ollie has done a great job keeping clean. Davy Norris, likewise, so has Milan. But unfortunately for Davy, it's not going to change his position. But for Ollie, this could take the win. So here comes Ricky down towards Acqua Minerali. I'm assuming going to be blasting and using as much of the ERS deployment as he's got left in the battery to try and open that gap. It's 5.4 seconds for Ricky. Can he do it with just a few yards left to go? One sector of the racetrack left to go for Ricky Maru. It's 5.8 seconds now is the gap. He needs 2/10 in the final sector. And coming out of the final corner he goes. Ricky will complete the win on the track, but it is an absolute toss-up whether Ollie's going to win. Moist crosses the line in second, and Ollie promoted to third. That has to be incredibly close. Waitsy is in fourth, and Davy Norris is going to come through just ahead of Milan here, and they're both clean on penalties. A little nudge over the line for Davy Norris, but he completes the fifth place. Good result for Alpine there, with Triple Bay for Mercedes in seventh, Speedy Spud in 8th, Marco in 9th place. Looks like we're going to get in the lower order. No scoring here, Floyd Pink, but promoted ahead of Marco. Atsu, 12 Urchin, Adam Foran, and GTK has already crossed the line, 1 lap down, but Ricky Maru wins by 1/10 of a second. Absolutely incredible. And AJ says, right, I need to go on holiday for 3 weeks now, just like Ricky. I'm almost thinking that Ricky has come back a week early. Such is his hope here for our championship. Ollie is in second. Stripe Moist is in third. Night Shark asks if he can join. I think you can join, and we should be able to find you a link via the video, or maybe someone can drop a link to the league in the main comments after the race. But we do have a registration process, but not today, essentially, but soon. I would have thought it is quite possible. Night Shark. Milan gets the driver of the sprint. Ricky Maru then. I can't believe he won that by 1/10 of a second from Ole, picking up 8 points when Merckx is no scoring is very, very important. We've got Strike Moist in third place, Waitsy in fourth. Then comes Davy Norris, Milan, Triple Bay and Speedy Spud. They scored points so far in the sprint race. Floyd Pink, Marco Atsu, 12 Urchin, Adam Foran, Studios, Merckx, Sticky, Leon, Jaffa Jake and ARL all no scored. So... Respond has lost track of time while playing F1 Manager. Okay, well, don't let it happen too often, Respond. We can't have a stream without you. So hopefully we will get onto this very soon. I will just check out whether ARL needs an invite as well. But we have a customary short break in between sessions here. Whether we go straight into one-shot quali or not, I will just wait for confirmation. I'm going to give ARL an invite while I wait anyway. I thought I'd missed the start of one-shot there. Let's get on with it. Okay. There we go. Hopefully we'll get ARL in and he'll be back to us. I appreciate all the engagement today. Any likes or comments you can leave on the video would be super, super appreciated. Trying to grow the channel at the moment as we've got a countdown timer, so I don't want to go anywhere. I think we might go into one shot with a break then. Let's just see. Someone may have pressed the button too soon, because if AJ's just saying thank you, he might not have quite made it back into the lobby and have the same pattern repeating again. There we go, down to 0. Yeah, we are going to go into qualifying straight away. I'm going to try and get the drivers at the head of the field. It's usually Moist, as I said, in one-shot quali, but he's slowest at the moment. Let's go over to Ricky, and we know that Speedy Spud was very quick for all but the final 2 corners of the qualifying session before. On board then with Ricky. He's in the rhythm. He's going through the Villeneuve chicane at the moment and heading up towards Tosa. Might see some overtakes into Tosa. Merckx has just got the nod ahead of Ricky, and it's just switched back again on the exit of Tosa, up and over the top of the Piratella corner. It is really quick, blind exit corner, then downhill again into the Acqua Minerale. Don't steal too much from the racetrack. You've got to leave a margin here in one-shot quali. Back up and over the crest and heading towards Variante Alta. That is a fastest sector for Ricky. It looked a little bit hesitant on the way out, but I think that has gained some traction for Merckx. Heading downhill then to Ravazza to finish out the lap. It is blink and you missed it this lap. And into getting tucked in. Will Merckx manage to make a better run out of this qualifying? It looks like it will be Merckx then with the fastest time. Just under 2 tenths ahead of Ricky Maru. Moist did drag that car back to the lead up into P3 in the second row. We have the championship contenders at the head of the field for our Grand Prix. Normal service resumed, and will it be another Merckx versus Ricky repeat from 2 or 3 races we've had so far this season? Merckx on top, as he has been since he joined the league, frankly. Ricky Maru in second, Strike Moist in third. We have Ole in fourth, Speedy Spud in 5th place. 1 second separating the top 5, but 2 tenths between the top 2. Marco, Milan, Leon, ARL, and Atsu complete the top 10. And then we have Floyd Pink starting 11th, 12 Urchin, appropriately enough, in 12th. GTK Studios, Adam Foran, Jaffa Jake Sticky, Triple Bay, Davy Norris and Waitsy, unfortunately, at the back. We've got Davy and Waitsy at the back of the grid, unfortunately. Now, one thing I haven't asked yet with ARL in the live chat is for a weather forecast, because the rain did surprise me there, and it shouldn't surprise me in mid-Europe. But we've got some rain-filled clouds above, we've got some blue sky and some sharp shadows as well. So anyone's guess on the weather but we shall have our customary break in a moment, and I'll give you a little update as to what that will be. Merckx, though, is on a 4-race winning streak, and he only started with us 4 races ago. ARL said when he was here, it said sunny. We're not still bitter about being kicked from the lobby, are we? Yes, a 4-race winning streak for Merckx, the Merciless. Ricky Maru winning the first race of the season and coming second to Merckx in the next 2 races, but having been missing for the last 2 races. So we have 5 minutes break. I've been told 8:33 local time, so 3 minutes time from now. Time to get a snack and a drink. We'll see you on the other side. We'll be on our way. Race control have issued the green light, so we'll be trackside any second for you. Love to hear your predictions. Here we are then for the start of the race. It's 5 lights on at Imola, and it's dropped the clutch and go, go, go. Merckx jumping away. There is tyre smoke everywhere as the drivers just battle the traction and try and make their moves. It's Ricky Maru round the outside. Can it happen straight away? Well, Ricky is just playing it fairly safe here as they power on through. There's a Ferrari going all the way across the gravel. That looks like Moist. Moving down the order, an uncharacteristic early issue for Moist, then dropping down into 6th place from the start of the race. I wonder if he's gone conservative on the tyres. He has indeed gone conservative onto the hard tyres, and that may not have helped him in his quest here to start the race out. Merckx and Ricky Maru are on medium tyres. Ollie Spud on hards with Milan on mediums. It is a complete split in what the drivers expect, but that does look like the potential for a one-stop strategy. Adam Foran has just moved past GTK Studios. Not the best start for Mercedes, both at the back of the grid at the moment, but things can only get better from back there. We've got Milan in 5th, Speedy Spud in 4th, and Moist on screen in that 6th position with Leon just behind him. Super close in this battle, just past the podium places that are currently occupied by Merckx, Ricky and Ollie. As they power on out of Ravazza. That was Atsu off the track, losing adhesion on cold hard tyres at the start of the race. Unfortunately for Atsu, that is moving all the way down. I think he made contact with the barrier as well. Ricky tried to stay on track. Atsu's picked up 10-second penalty for bonsaiing into the pit lane prior, I imagine, to a retirement. I think he's probably getting quite cross about that, but he was very close to the pit lane by the time he'd rejoined the track on the other side of the circuit, so it was a difficult pit stop for him. Floyd Pink, Jaffa Jake, all in the pits at this early stage, as well as the top 3 continue to battle their way through. Ricky Maru right on the tail of Merckx the Merciless as they run then into the Piratella corner. The chrome engine cover here of the V-Carb shining in the sunshine, in the Italian sunshine, or the San Marino sunshine, I suppose we should say, as one of the many names for this Grand Prix was the San Marino Grand Prix. But Ricky Maru right tucked up over the crest and heading towards the Variante Alta. Get it right. It's Ravazza. Come on. And as they go around the corner, Ricky is right there, and he's got the opportunity to use the DRS for the first time now, and should be a breeze to pass Merckx, being that close together. Ricky Maru relentlessly through and into first position then against Merckx the Merciless, that he has a lot of history with already in this small and short championship so far. 6 races in, and Ricky and Merckx have been rivals all the way through. Ricky into the leading position at this stage. Moist is gapped to 1.5 seconds in 4th place, but has moved up ahead of Speedy Spud and Milan as Merckx comes chasing down, and through Piratella the top 3 go. Ollie is satisfied to watch them at the moment because Ollie knows he's on the hard tyres. If he can live with the pace of these drivers on the mediums, things might look very, very rosy later on when they pit before him. They should pit before him, but sometimes we see the opposite because the medium tyre is such a good race tyre. It tends to be the one that everyone wants to be on for the longest possible point in the race. Heading down to Ravazza then. Merckx is as close to Ricky as Ricky was to Merckx last time through. Surely Merckx is going to be able to do this one quite simply. He's using the ERS, I can see just over his helmet as he's trying to power through. That was the fastest lap for Ricky on lap 3. Merckx has moved through though and has completed the move. By the time they get down, this is Spain all over again with the two rivals trading places lap after lap. That is Merckx back into the lead at the start of lap 4 and heading down towards the Villeneuve chicane now they go. Moist picked up a +3 penalty, one of the first of the front runners to get there. Atsu has rejoined the race. I thought with a pit lane penalty it was going to be a retirement, but I think he crossed the white line, which is probably explaining the 10-second rather than a 5-second speeding in the pit lane, which is kind of weird when you think about it, isn't it? It's double the penalty for crossing the white line than it is for entering the pit lane too fast. I don't know. Discuss. It's Merckx from Ricky Marou and Ollie. 2.2 seconds behind them comes Moist and Speedy Spud. Speedy Spud has picked up another penalty then. And he's now 4th and 5th places have both got penalties as Ricky Marou and one of Ricky Marou or Merckx just locked up into Ravazza. Easily done though. The drivers will be clocking up track limit warnings. I wonder how big one of the drivers will get to in terms of penalties today. There goes Ricky back through again at the start of lap 5. It's another traded place. And what these two are probably most concerned about here is not getting bogged down into a fight that includes Ollie. But you know how much it hurt Ollie to lose by a 10th in the sprint. It looks like they're about to lap GTK Studios at the moment as well, down in 19th position. So the race is only 5 laps old as a response to the expected Merckx to wave everyone goodbye. Well, Ricky's back now. Respond. Come. Let's look at it later in the last third of the race because Merckx is generally at his strongest at the very end of the race compared to the other drivers. But at the moment, Ricky just stretching away a little bit here, heading into Variante Alta. He's got the ghosted car of GTK Studios. Doesn't need to move out of the way for him. It does kind of ruin the immersion a little bit, doesn't it? But it's probably better than taking out the leaders. What's interesting is that the dirty air effect still takes effect, even though the driver is ghosted. Well, Merckx is a third of a second away. He's got the DRS. Is it enough to compete here? Well, Ricky doesn't think it is. He goes around the outside. Ricky will try and hug the inside, but no, it is more than enough. Probably 4/10 is okay to use the DRS. Merckx back into the lead at the start of lap 6, and it is back and forth, a ding-dong battle between the two championship rivals here, and collecting the wins between them. All the wins since Merckx joined have been with Merckx, but Ricky won the first race and has come second twice to Merckx as well. Ricky seems to be able to live, though, with Merckx's pace. Hasn't let the gap open beyond 3/10 for very long so far. And Ollie, very impressive on the hard tyre. Now, maybe the hard tyre is a better race tyre than it usually is, but I have to say, he is the lead hard tyre runner, and he's sitting there very happy in that 3rd position, just saving the fuel, saving the boost, using the DRS when he needs to, and just let these two fight until the end of the race, or at least until they're out of his way and in the pit lane. Look at the number of penalties we have picked up. Race control, very early in the week, said, and it was reiterated to the drivers, that there would be no penalties lifted for track limit abuse. So it's just a blanket no to all appeals for everybody. So everybody is in the same position. Nobody, because otherwise you can see how difficult this would be here at Imola to try and action it. That is a rare non-change for the lead. That is almost becoming a highlight here. So it's time to just run through the field. Moist is in 4th. He's got Speedy Spud just behind him. Then comes Marco, some 3.7 seconds back from 4th and 5th. We've got 7th place ARL who is nearly 2 seconds away from Marco himself as well. ARL on the hard tyres as well. Milan is in 8th, Leon in 9th, and Sticky down there for McLaren in 10th. We've got Waitsy in 11th. Seems to be a little bit slow perhaps at the moment, Waitsy, with his teammate, new teammate in 12th. 12 Urchin is in 12th just permanently, it seems. Davey, Adam Foran, Triple Bay, Floyd Pink, Atsu, Jaffa Jake at Studios completes the 19 drivers at the moment. And again, Ricky has not been able to pass at this stage, but we are coming through out of Ravazza corner. We are 5 tenths away on the exit of the corner. That quickly disappears. We're using the overtake button as well. And look at the overspeed. Looks like Merck didn't use any battery there at all. And is harvesting to a certain extent at this early stage of the race. So the medium runners now 7 laps into a 32 lap race, and Ricky back on top again, and certainly getting a little bit sideways going into the Villeneuve chicane. And at the top of the hill, it's Tosa corner, top of the circuit really, I suppose. We still climb up to Piratella, and let's just ride with Ricky through Piratella. It is frighteningly quick. It's a little bit like Pouan Piratella. Very similar profile and blind entry as well. And Merckx following behind in that second place, and just having a rough Aqua Minerale is Merckx. The gap opening up to 4 tenths of a second. Seems to have rescued it a little bit. And into the Variante Alta. It is very much single file through the Variante Alta. There's no way you're going to be challenging anybody in there or staying with them. And down to Ravazza we go again, closing out the lap. Ole still right there with these two championship rivals. That's a poor exit from Ricky, fully sideways. It looked great, and I'm going to give a style point, but unfortunately it's not the way to exit the corner. It looks like the tyres are letting go, the mediums already here, and there it goes. Merckx through again to retake the lead. Start of lap 9, Merckx back in the lead of the race. It's anyone's guess between these two. Merckx has had the better of these battles so far, but Ricky has had plenty of time to think about it, watch the races back, and I'm really grateful that everybody watches the races back, frankly. Atsu's retired, unfortunately, in 17th. An event to forget here, but his brother, Ricky, is very much having a very good race at this time, but not great points for the Sauber team. Kick Sauber team here. Safety car has been deployed thanks to that retirement, unfortunately, and it was Atsu who lost it out of Aqua Minerale, between Aqua Minerale and this corner here, the Variante Alta. So safety car has been enacted. That has come at a great time for the medium runners. It's come at a pretty horrible time for the hard runners. This will likely force the hard runners into a very long medium stint or a two-stopper, as they slam on the brakes to get down to the safety car speed limit. Respond says Ollie for the win. Well, Ollie's got to change tyres now off the hard tyre. So I know you typed that before the safety car, but does that change things for you? Everybody, I think, is going to come in after 8 laps. Will anybody on the hard tyres risk staying out? It's not going to gain them many positions thanks to the way the field has opened already. And into the pit lane come the drivers. Any speeding penalties yet for anyone? But they're going to have to fit mediums, the hard runners, but I can't see them getting medium tyres to the end. It looked like the mediums were starting to let go. 10-second penalty for both Adam Foran and for 12 Urchin, unfortunately. Although we should give him a 12-second penalty, really, shouldn't we? Front wing change for Waitsy. Moist is out. Moist has retired from the race. What on earth just happened? I think that was a voluntary DNF there from Moist, and things are not looking good for our double world champion out of the race. And another no score then for Moist, and that is really going to hurt his bid here to try and challenge Merckx. I can't imagine what just went down. If Moist decides to tune in, then I will let you know. I might have the chance just to quickly message him, find out what happened. But hopefully I'll get a reply from our Maestro double world champion. It's Merckx from Ricky Maru from Ollie. Let's have a little look. It looks like Davy Norris decided against pitting. Respond is going to stick with Ollie because he thinks there's going to be another safety car. That's a good bet. So yeah, that's a wise bet. But we are losing drivers at the moment. Penalty wise, there you can see the situation. Plus 10 for Adam Foran and 16 for 12 Urchin. Then we have a 10-second penalty for GTK. And they're really adding up. 14 places up for Davy Norris. What an astonishing climb from him into 4th position, while Dad Chuck Norris is not around, not racing with us at the moment. We've got Speedy Spud in 5th, ARL in 6th, up 3 places for ARL, 1 place up for Ollie. Then Milan is where he started. Marco down 2, Leon down 1. Sticky up 6 places. Atsu hates his life. I'm sorry, Atsu. That sucks for you, but come back strong next time. We have Adam Foran 11th. Waitsy 12th, up 7 places for Waitsy. Thanks in no small part to a poor qualifying, unfortunately. Then Triple Bay up 4 in 13th, and then losses down for Floyd Pink, 12 Urchin, Jaffa Jake, and GTK Studios. Lots of tyre smoke. I think the drivers are getting ready to restart the race, perhaps, it looks like, but they haven't got to Tosa yet, so crowding out the safety car. Let's just have a look at the race a little bit better, shall we? I should just think to do that more often when the display gets in my way. But anyway, heading up the hill then and up towards Piratella. Has the safety car turned off its lights? Not yet, but it has been getting quite late to do that. We're right on board with Merckx and C. Heading up then, just staying in 3rd gear. I'm surprised the drivers aren't sitting in 5th or 6th just to save fuel. It's lap 11 of 32. Safety car will come in this lap, so we will see a cessation of Bernd Mailander's track hogging as they run through. The field has pretty much condensed here, and running through over the Variante Alta they go. Ole is in 3rd place. Remember the tyre situation as well. So new tyres for most. The hard tyres usually struggle away, so Ole could pounce here on the medium tyres, and he will have the opportunity to watch Merckx and take advantage of any move that he makes. But Merckx is not going out of Ravazza. He goes now mid-weave to keep them guessing. Ole tucks up behind Ricky Maru. Plenty of action here on the restart. It was quite a late restart out of Ravazza corner. Ricky's managing to just get the nod ahead here of Ole, but they go into the corner just as they entered and exited the safety car procedure. Several cars off the circuit. This is the second of the V-Carbs there. ARL just struggling to get back onto the racing line. Speedy Spud is all over the road as he's trying to catch the old hard tyre shod Davy Norris, who's made up so many places thanks to skipping the pit stop. But at the head of the field, it looks like Ole has the pace right now and could do with making the pass, but he's going to be stuck in a DRS train unless something drastic happens to these two championship rivals at the head of the field. Merckx leads Ricky Maru from Ole and Davy Norris, with Speedy Spud in 5th position. Those 3 drivers have opened up a 1.1 second gap from Davy Norris already, but that's down to the tyre delta more, I think, than anything. Sticky's dropping down the order. Waitsy is up 2 places in that phase, and I'm sorry I didn't catch that, as they are piling into Ravazza and smoking up the tyres. Ricky should get DRS here. It has been enabled, but it wasn't past the detection point earlier on. Here is a battle. Side by side they go. Davy Norris on the outside for the first corner. It looks like it is advantage Spud, but Davy Norris confidently sweeping around the outside. 12 Urchins retired in the pit lane. Thank you for that, and saving us a further safety car as far as you're able to control anyway. And GTK Studios is also retired from the race, and looks like Davy Norris really struggling out of the corner there as they go through Tosa. He was helpless to resist Speedy Spud. It looks like the second Haas is queuing up to make the pass as well. And just running wide as well, Davy Norris. Oh, wow, that was cheeky one from Leon around the outside. Great move, though. Really great. And GTK Studios complaining about the safety car. Messed him up, he says. I'm sorry to hear it, but thanks for racing with us anyway. And hopefully we can come back stronger in the next race. Running down into Ravazza we go. Ricky close enough to challenge and get that lead back again. Moist has left the session. So Moist has given me a little update, but round the outside runs Ricky Maru. They're just level. Oh, that was really, really tight, but Ricky through. That's about as close as it has been between the two of them. Just to catch up on GTK Studios says, would let me overtake and catch up, and made him 2 minutes behind. I see, so you were lapped down, of course, yeah, and it put you even further back. From Moist, I've heard, he says, ridiculous penalties and controller drift. Doesn't know how he picked up 2 lots of 3 seconds on a straight. So, response saying it's super close here. It absolutely is. We love it at the International Racing League. We have been absolutely spoiled so far in the season for how close the races have been. Yes, Merckx has won everything since he came to join us in race 2, but you have to say it has never been easy. He's always been made to work for it for the majority of a race at least. I know Silverstone, he was head and shoulders ahead at the end of the race, but when Ricky's been here, it has been very, very tight. Here we go then. Again, lap 14 now, trying to make these hard tyres last for the race as well. Merckx eases his way through and past. It was a lot closer on the exit of Ravazza there. And back into the lead. Leon is in 5th. Speedy Spud in 4th. Ole is hanging on, but is starting to get to the point where his race pace is starting to show against these two behemoths in the league, Ricky and Merckx, for this season. Certainly the new game mechanics are helping, and they've really got to grips with these new spec cars. So Merckx versus Ricky continues. This is the 3rd race these two have been nose to tail, swapping positions all the race long, and long may it continue as well. A lot of respect between the two of them. We've had barely any contact at all either, and I've said that now. It's a statement of fact, it's not a statement of future prediction. But Sticky has picked up a penalty. We are really adding up. The top 3 though, racing without penalties. So is ARL. Should pick up some places here if he can hang with the guys in front till later on. 12 Urchin's gone from the session, so no more part he will play. As 4 cars have gone, we still have 15. Really healthy field here today. Contrast that with the Euros, when the Euros were on and we struggled. Ricky is a little bit of opposite lot coming through the Villeneuve chicane, but staying, almost towing on the back of Merckx here. They're almost held together with a string of elastic. Such has been these two's competition between their respective laps. They've shared the lead throughout the Grand Prix. Responds saying he really hoped and expected Ollie to zoom past to get a bit of a gap going. Absolutely. But remember, in the sprint, we still had penalties for both of these drivers. And Ollie was within a 1/10 of a second of winning the race, thanks to keeping a clean set of wheels all race long. Will that continue, I wonder? I will just ride with Ricky one more time down here and see if we change positions, and then I'll go and see and go hunting for any more action throughout the race. Ricky's catching, but he's not fast enough to challenge into the first corner, Triguardo. Down the order, we have some great battles that are consistently racing hard. We've got ARL in 6th behind the 2 Haas drivers, who are working together here with the DRS to keep the Williams and the VCARB from overtaking them, it seems. Couldn't be much tighter here as Leon picks up another penalty. That's got to be frustrating, ARL, that the drivers in front are picking up penalties, but he can't get past and try and catch the top group at this stage. Over the hill once again. Let's have a just check on the penalty situation. That is ARL sneaking his way through because of an issue there for Leon. Milan and ARL move through. So just as I say, it must be getting frustrating. It has obviously improved matters. So now ARL should have DRS profit on Speedy Spud and be able to pass him in a way he wasn't able to before. But 18 seconds for Leon. Is that a record? Marco's got 19. So we'll see. It's clearly not a record. Not even in this race so far. Up at the front, well, we had ARL just smoking that front brake, catching the tyre. Ollie has definitely been gapped now. And Ricky and Merck continue their amazing battle. And look at Milan and ARL go here. Milan going past, and I think ARL should have had DRS through there. Leon retires. I think retires in the pits with the amount of penalties perhaps he had on the car as well. But pretty soon it's going to be about surviving this race. We've got just up in the order. Ricky Maru, 1/3 of a second away again. Oh, Triple Bay's got a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Is that prior to a DNF, perhaps? We'll see. But ARL, he's stayed in 6th because Milan caught and passed as they come up through towards Variante Alta under the Aramco bridge. And again, another big lockup for the Williams driver, who will hope to get past Speedy Spud on the next straight. Past the pit lane. Start of lap 19. Another snatch break there from the Williams. I think Ricky is probably too far away. Is he? Whoa, he's getting closer and closer. And they're coming up to lap a car. Someone's just retired. Was that Adam Foran? And someone just hit the wall on the way through the corner. It was blink and you miss it there from me. And I definitely did miss it. Milan is half a second away from Speedy Spud and didn't manage to put the move on. But he's got a nice gap behind him now. Adam Foran's retired, unfortunately. The drivers are dropping fast. And then pretty soon it gets to the point where you think, well, some of these drivers, if they had just stayed running, would have picked up points. But could have, would have, should have. And it's very easy to say these things in hindsight. It's lap 19 of 32. Ricky Maru and Merck continue to share the lead. They have gapped Ollie, and he can now no longer run conservatively behind them and hope that they pick up penalties, because that gap is too big at this stage to run. We've got 0.6 of a second between the top two, but down here in the hunt for 4th position, it is a lot closer. Let's ride on board the Williams then as we run through. I think Ricky's about to take the lead again, is he? I think he is. I do apologise. Oh, let's check this one out then. That's as close as they've come. They're side by side through the Villeneuve chicane. Oh, that's close. That's really close. And they do come to contact. Some parts came off one of the cars. I think that might be side pod or floor damage for one of them. Is that a strake missing? Look at this, side by side go the championship rivals. Ricky holding on to the inside into Piratella. Dare they go side by side through there? They'll be loving this, the pair of them, as long as it ends okay. As into Aqua Minerale goes Merckx on the narrow line. Ricky can take a little bit more speed through the second part of the corner, and he does so. And they're going side by side once again, down towards Variante Alta. They're still side by side, but Ricky having to yield. He couldn't be closer here. As Atsu says, these two are crazy. They absolutely are. I can't believe they stayed with each other like that. But something broke off one of the cars. I feel like I saw green as well as black, but I did see black, so it's hardly it's hardly a slam dunk as to which car it is if it's black carbon fibre coming off. Here they are again, once again. Ricky right close then with the Kick Sauber goes to the outside, tries to make this one work again, aims for the second apex, manages it, and they still run side by side. These two are absolutely astonishing. Look at them as he leaves a gap to the inside. Ricky then steals it into the second part of the Villeneuve chicane, keeping the inside line into Toza. Trying his hardest here. Oh, he gets a snap, a bit of oversteer, and he just avoids contact with the kick Sauber. He's still got the inside line into Piratella this time, and Merckx yields, but will probably try and hunt him. Fantastic racing between the two title rivals here into Aqua Minerale, and Ricky ahead again, and it is getting closer and closer with 11 laps to go here for these two. What a battle we've seen. It deserves a much bigger audience, doesn't it? And we'll try and share the video out as much as possible, try and take some clips as well, because these two really do deserve a good following. Into Ravazza, Ricky on the favoured racing line. It's possible Merckx just put himself off the favourite line there. This time again with the DRS, he's going to go past with ease. There's nothing Ricky can do about it other than tuck in and try and use the end of the toe. But DRS all the way down to the braking zone of Trigado for Merckx, back into the lead in lap 22. Fabulous stuff, and just as I say, deserves a bigger audience. Some new people joined, so welcome. You've missed some cracking bits, but hopefully you can skip back on when we get to our next quiet moment. But lap 22 of 32. Hard tyres on the front two's cars that should reach the end. Got flashing yellow flags. Is that a portent of a safety car? No, we're okay. It would be a shame if something happened to these two's race as a result of a safety car, because they deserve to take this to the wire. 2 laps, at least 2/3 of 2 laps of lap 20 and 21, side by side for that entire run. Tremendous stuff from these two. It's right on board with Ricky down into Ravazza. We are close enough to take the lead again. That's a huge slide from Merckx, and that won't help him at all. Here is Ricky then, 0.3 of a second away. There's nothing Ricky could do to make a pass though at that point. Just stay with Merckx and hesitate onto the throttle. But here he is with the overspeed. Round the outside we go again, and Merckx hugging the inside and really fighting that a little bit too long maybe. I thought they were going to go side by side again, but Ricky back in the lead once again. Another yellow flag flashing on and off. Ricky having to take a slightly defensive line into the Villeneuve chicane, and then suffering as a result of taking too much curb into Toza. They go. The car's very active under our two great title rivals here. Great to have Ricky back to keep Merckx honest. He'll be hoping that he can do better than that and actually complete a win here against this fabulous Merckx the Merciless on a 4-race winning streak. He's done nothing but win since he joined our league as Merckx, but Ricky has been able to live with him through every race they've been together. Ricky away on holiday for 2 weeks. I thought it was going to be 3, so may have cut his holiday short to try and come back and do this kind of thing. But we shall see. Atsu might be able to confirm that one. Running out of Ravazza, they go again. But Merckx surely again is just going to be straight past Ricky. It's going to be all about who is in front on the final lap, I think, between these two. Merckx back side by side, but he's got the inside line. Should get the apex here. Ricky hanging on. And it's holding on to the lead is Ricky, but it's just trading between the two of them. Here we go again, round 3. Side-by-side battle. What a racetrack. What a pair of title rivals this is, as Ricky holds on. And if he can do that at the end of this race, he can secure this win. But really, I think owning it by the run down to Ravazza, it was what it's all about. Round the outside, we're going to try into Piratella. There's no way that's going to work, but Merckx running off where it's safe to do so. And into Aqua Minerale they go. Down into the compression at the Valley of the Hill. As Response says, it's crazy how close these two are. Another lock up into Variante Alta. And he's having to go defensive into Ravazza. This is a preview, I think, of the final lap of the race. They're going to pick up the DRS detection. And that is Merck just having a little practice, I think, and seeing, can he do exactly the same thing once again? But he was ahead before the DRS detection. That means that Ricky can bump draft Merck all the way down the start-finish straight here. Merck back into the lead. End of lap 24, start of lap 25. I'm sorry to watch these two in isolation. It has been a tremendous race for the rest of our drivers, you have to say. Sticky moving up. ARL is in the pits, hoping to try and make that strategy work, but it hasn't for him. Milan, 0.6 of a second away from Speedy Spud. I don't know what these penalties are going to be showing, but Ole very much on his own there in third position. Speedy Spud in fourth at the moment. Soft tyres for ARL for the end of the race. That could be good from P8. But ARL has just a 3-second penalty compared to everybody else. And it is going to be an absolute guessing game who's going to finish ahead in the midfield here. And it just as it is at the front of the field. But for very, very different reasons as running through. Once again, come the two rivals. Oh, big slide into Ravazza again for Merckx. Are the hard tyres already letting go now for these two? 7 to go, and if the hard tyres are already letting go, that's certainly going to make Ricky feel a little bit better about his chances here. He's going to sweep round the outside this time. Side by side once again, and Ricky, he just really neatly aims his car at the second apex of Traguardo chicane, but looks like Merckx holding on. They are leaving each other just enough space to avoid contact, and Ricky is really nailing these defensive moves through the first two sectors of the racetrack. He's just holding that inside line on a counterclockwise circuit, and that is really paying dividends before they get through into Piratella. He has to own it then, and into the Aqua Minerale corner. He's almost always ahead when they've been side by side, but it is going to be about the dive bomb into Ravazza, I feel, if they are this close to each other. Merckx has shown great form going down into Ravazza, and he certainly knows the limit of the grip, and he knows what the car feels like going over that limit. Here he is, just making a little look, just keeping Ricky guessing, and that probably led to Ricky with a puff of smoke off the front tyre, but Merckx did exactly the same thing. Here we go again, and it's Merckx screaming past Ricky. Another DRS pass. This has to be one of the greatest two-way battles for a lead we have witnessed here. Now Ricky's in unfamiliar territory, holding onto the inside line. Wow, what a car control from both of them. Both were a little bit sideways. Looks like Ricky's got the inside line into Villeneuve, leaving a car's width. That was so neat and professional from both drivers, but Ricky leaving just enough. And so far, I don't know if I'm reading this correctly, but Ricky in racecraft seems to have the edge. Merckx, though, has the pace on raw pace and potentially onto the brakes. But in terms of positioning the car, Ricky has done a faultless job so far. It is 27 laps of constant battle. These guys will be pouring with sweat now and just desperate for the race to be over. Oh, another big moment for Ricky. The back tyre kicking out, and really with 5 to go, this is absolutely anybody's. Again, Merckx showing himself in the mirrors all the time into Ravazza. He's certainly made his intentions clear, but I'm trying to work out who will be ahead if they DRS pass each other 1 for 1 for the remaining laps. Here comes Merckx then to start lap 28, and he is ahead. So that would indicate that Ricky, if they took turns, Ricky would have the advantage. But then we've got to not leave the door open into Ravazza, and I'm sure he won't. But Merckx back in the lead, and certainly both cars are struggling on these tyres. You can see them colouring up. You can see the texture on the tyres starting to show as it glints off the sunshine, and certainly the body language of the cars is that they are struggling to hold on. Let's just check out Speedy Spud following Milan here. And very, very close. Marco too, putting in a good shift here for Aston Martin, but 22 seconds of penalties will put him right out of contention. We've got ARL still in 8th off the soft tyres, but with an 11-second gap to catch the car in front. He does have a lot of work to do, but he should pick up a place or two come the end. Ricky's allowed the gap to open up, and he's going to have to rein it in now and try and regather. Maybe he feels like going into lap 31, he'd rather be behind, but that is putting all your eggs in one basket. The gap now 0.8 of a second. That is probably as big as the gap has been the entire race long. But catching back is Ricky and starting to hound the mirrors here. I'm just dying to know about the ERS situation. You can see on screen I'm pointing at Ricky Maru right now, and I'm pointing at Merck just in case they're listening in. I don't want to give the game away as to the strategy, but I rarely look at their ERS deployment situations and the harvesting. Over the hill we go and into Piratella once again. Now Ricky looking a little more planted on the kart and able to live with Merck's pace in this first sector. There's a little puff of smoke from Merck. And again, every time your rival locks a brake, you feel better about your chances. And there it goes. Once again, it is just one thing after the other with these two. I cannot call it between the two of them. For the sake of the championship, I want Ricky to win a race over Merck. And then you've got the sake of the streak for Merck to cheer for Merck as well. Ricky's too far back, I think, on this lap. Needs to harvest to be on terms, I think, with Merck from the last time we looked anyway, which was a while ago now in racing terms anyway. As we enter lap 30, Ricky is 1/3 of a second behind again, Merck, and could just sit here now. It's almost like the guy in second is in the power position. As long as they can stay very close, they are in the power position come the penultimate lap of the race and the final run past the final DRS zone that they will use. But a big slide from Ricky has really hurt the chances now. Maybe Merckx. Oh no! And it's happened again. It's happened again right at the death. And Merckx will be very relieved to see that penalty flag marker appear on Ricky's kart. All Ricky can do now is pressurize Merckx, but even an overtake is unlikely to yield the result he's looking for. Ricky has picked up a 3-second penalty, just as he did in Spain, right on the penultimate few laps of the race. I know only one lap is penultimate, but it gets really silly when you start talking about anti-penultimate and things like that. But Merckx is in first place. Ricky Maru is in second as they cross the line to start lap 31 of 32. And Ricky's just outside of the DRS zone, unfortunately. Let's see if Speedy Spud can make a move here. But it's that penalty. I'm going to keep my eyes so far. What on earth has happened? Why would I click away then? And Merckx has spun off the circuit, going through Traguardo and into Tamburello. I don't have a replay feature, and I wish I did. I'm so sorry. But the one moment I click away from those two, and it all goes wrong for Merckx, and Ricky is on the precipice here of being 3 seconds ahead. It's 2.85 seconds away. They're going to keep me guessing right to the end, no matter what, aren't they? But it's the hard tyres that are dying on the drivers' cars. Unfortunately, this is absolutely off the chain. These two, they're now going to fight against the stopwatch, against race control and those track penalties. It is 2.8 and it is hovering at 2.8. You can't separate these two drivers. It is all going to come down to ERS deployment and not making another mistake. Absolutely incredible from these two guys. They're now 3 seconds apart. But the all-important thing here is who can make the fewest mistakes. We can't see Merckx. He's so far back, but he's within penalty range. We'll ride with Ricky Maru and see if we can see any issues from anybody at all. Amazing stuff. This is the final lap of the race. It's 2.4 seconds now. We've got to blast that ERS out of the final corner, out of Ravazza, but at the moment, Ricky is ahead. Merckx has survived Villeneuve this time and Traguardo, and Ricky has to now mash the ERS deployment button, but Merckx will do exactly the same thing. Piratella once again. Ricky Maroon. Oh, it's all over again. Ah, Ricky with a second time penalty as he pushes pushes to win. But you've got to admire relentless Ricky Meroux for doing his level best here to try and secure the win. Tremendous stuff from Ricky, but ultimately too hard, too fast against track limits and too wide on the track. And oh wow, that is 6 seconds plus for Ricky. Then he's going to come through Ravazza and he's cruising. I think he's going to be kicking himself, but what a battle we had in that race. Ricky Meroux crosses the line, but Merckx will win the 5th race in a row here at Imola. An amazing feature race. Ricky losing out by 2.5 seconds total at the end. Ole coming through. He's +3, but behind him, Milan has far more penalties. Speedy Spud, for the moment at least, in 4th place. We've got Milan in 5th, and then Marco will come through. Sticky has binned the final corner, unfortunately. Marco crosses the line, Sticky through, but I think ARL should pick up positions. He does into 6th place. This is hard to track. Marco will almost certainly get overtaken as Jaffa Jake comes through. Good debut to finish in 8th for Jaffa Jake. Waitsy crosses the line in 9th, and I don't know if Floyd Pink will make it within Marco's penalties, but I can't believe Merckx and Ricky Meroux did it all over again. Jeddah, Spain, Imola, these two have been at each other like the most incredible rivals. 3 out of our 6 races have been ding-dong battles between these two great drivers. Merckx, the merciless, though, back on the top step of the podium again, and he's keeping the big bottle of champagne for himself as usual. Incredible, incredible racing. AJ, pleased with a P6 for the new setup. Ricky, close but no cigar. Absolutely. What a battle you gave us, though, Ricky. What an absolute show. And he comes home in 2nd place. Good points for the V-Carb. Good to be back. It's, 2 weeks no racing. I'm back straight there, fighting for the lead. Take heart, brave warrior. And we have Ole coming through to pick up the 3rd position as well. Yeah, another absolutely amazing race there. It shows Ricky Meroux because of the result of the sprint. So I'm going to click over to here. Merckx also, just to add insult to injury, Merckx got the fastest lap as well. 26 points from the Grand Prix. Ricky Meroux in 2nd position, but outscored Merckx over the course of today's event. Ole in 3rd, Speedy Spud, Milan, ARL, Sticky, Jaffa Jake, Waitsy and Marco scored points. Floyd Pink, Davy Norris, Adam Foran, Triple Bay, Leon, 12 Urchin, GTK Studios, Moist and Atsu. All, certainly from Davy Norris onwards, all DNF'd. Floyd Pink finished home in 11th to the worst finishing position you can come after a terrible and hard-fought race like that. But an astonishing run of form. Merckx, the 5th win from 5 races, 5 from 6 in the championship, and an incredible run. And what a race we had. I hope you enjoy rewatching that one. Thank you so much for liking the video today and for subscribing if you haven't already. I would strongly recommend you share this one out to your network as well. We'd love to get some traction here for the International Racing League. Deserves a big audience. Thanks to everybody for all their hard work, for all the comments today, for Speedy Spud for his hosting, and all the support that International Racing League gives its drivers and the league. My name's Webbo. This has been the International Racing League. Subscribe, and I will catch you on the next race day.